Queen Bee and the Brave Bees, The Magical Web of Friendship. Once upon a time, in the heart of the apiary metropolis, lived Queen Bee, a regal and kind ruler but oh so nervous about the world beyond her hive. "Good morning, my buzzing subjects," she greeted as she flew past the worker bees. Each worker bee was busy but paused to wave. There was Jittery Joe, who was scared of the dark, and Shy Sally, who feared meeting new bugs. They all loved Queen Bee but wondered why she looked so uneasy today. Just as Queen Bee was about to take a sip from her royal honey jar, Buzzberry, the messenger bee, zoomed in.
"Your Highness, a message for you."
Buzzberry handed over a leaf scroll sealed with a petal. Queen Bee's antennas twitched with curiosity and a dash of worry as she opened the scroll. "Oh, my stars! The pollen fields are in danger!" she exclaimed. The worker bees, led by Jittery Joe and Shy Sally, gathered around her.
"What does it mean, Queen Bee?"
Joe asked, his wings trembling.
"Should we be scared?"
Queen Bee took a deep breath. "Fear not, my brave bees. It's time for us to venture out and see what's buzzing in the pollen fields." With her crown polished and her wings fluttering with excitement and a smidge of fear, Queen Bee led her entourage to the edge of the hive. "To the pollen fields!" she declared. As they flew, the bees passed by familiar sights: the honeycomb classrooms, the nectar bars, and finally, the grand exit to the hive. But just before they crossed over, Jittery Joe stopped short.
"It's so bright out there."
He stammered. Queen Bee looked at Joe with compassion. "Remember, brave Joe, even the brightest sun starts its day with a dawn. Onward." Encouraged, Jittery Joe took the first step, or rather, the first flight into the light. The others followed, their hearts swelling with courage. As the bees flew closer to the pollen fields, they came upon the dark forest, a place filled with towering trees and shadows. The hive went quiet. Even Queen Bee felt her wings tremble a little. Shy Sally looked nervously at the forest.
"It looks so, big, and filled with so many unknown bugs."
Queen Bee took a deep breath and turned to her hive. Yes, the forest is vast and full of mysteries. But remember, courage isn't about knowing what lies ahead. It's about moving forward anyway. With that, Queen Bee led her bees into the forest, each one buzzing with a mix of fear and excitement. And as they entered, they noticed something magical: tiny fireflies lighting up their way. As they ventured deeper into the dark forest, the group came upon a large, intricate web. Suspended in the middle was the spider, who looked more surprised than menacing.
"Who dares to enter my forest?"
The spider hissed, its 8 eyes narrowing. Queen Bee felt her heart pound but remembered her own words about courage. "I am Queen Bee, and these are my friends. We come in peace." The spider looked puzzled.
"Peace? Bees usually scream and fly away."
Queen Bee gathered her courage. "Well, today we've decided to face our fears. What brings you here, kind spider?" The spider seemed touched by Queen Bee's words.
"You really want to know my story?"
It asked, its eyes softening. "Yes," replied Queen Bee. "We all have stories worth hearing." So the spider spun its tail. It had always loved weaving beautiful webs, but everyone was too scared to come close.
"I'm just an artist,"
said the spider.
"not a monster."
The worker bees, led by Jittery Joe and Shy Sally, exchanged glances. Their fears seemed so small now. "Thank you for sharing, kind spider," said Queen Bee. "We've all learned a valuable lesson about courage and empathy today." With their hearts and minds opened, Queen Bee and her entourage said their goodbyes to the spider and the magical fireflies. "We'll be back and we'll bring more friends," Queen Bee promised as they left the dark forest. As they flew over the pollen fields, each bee felt different, lighter, braver, and more connected. Jittery Joe wasn't so jittery anymore, and Shy Sally felt emboldened to hum a little tune. The hive came into view, and it had never looked so welcoming. "We're home!" exclaimed Queen Bee, and everyone buzzed in agreement. Back in the hive palace, Queen Bee stood before her subjects who were buzzing with anticipation. "My dear friends," she began, "we've been on an extraordinary journey, a journey not just through the pollen fields in the dark forest, but through the landscapes of our own fears and judgments." The worker bees nodded, their eyes shining with newfound wisdom. We met the spider, a misunderstood artist, and we learned that courage isn't just about facing what we're scared of, but also about opening our hearts to understand others. Queen Bee continued. And so, let us carry these lessons with us, spreading courage and empathy like pollen in the wind. For a hive that learns together, grows together. The hive erupted in cheers, their hearts fuller and their wings stronger than ever before. The end.